Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last day of our design program. It is the last day of our design, but not the last design for you to do. So, today we are going to be designing a flyer. And if you're a business owner and you sell clothes or anything, you can actually utilize this flyer for your brand. So, it's not hard to design. We are going to get right into it. Now, just like we've always done, we're going to create a new design, and we're going to use 1080 by 1080 pixels, 1080 by 1080 pixels, and we're going to keep our resolution at 300, and then we click enter. So the next thing we're going to do is to add our background, and to do so we'll go to file, place embedded, and then double click on this to add our background. After adding our background, we are going to add the name of the brand that we are working with, and so to do that, we'll go to our text tool and click, or you just click T on your keyboard and it will take you to the text tool. You're going to click and type Mackie, enter, Couture, Control A to highlight everything. I don't know why this is showing like this, but we're going to change our color to the color we are going to use is this. So we're going to use, I'm going to call out the color code, so you don't need to worry about the color to use. 620B11, enter. So if your own is showing this way, all you need to do is highlight everything, come here, make sure you put this tracking to 0, and then we are going to adjust the size of our text. Let's change the size of our text to 21, or let's just use 22. We click enter, and then we're going to adjust the leading. We're going to adjust the leading to 22. That's fine. And we're going to change our font. This is not the font we want to use. So we've always been using Montserrat for our design. So we're going to pick it. We're going to change it to bold, and then you click check. So whenever you finish, make sure you click there to apply whatever you have done. So we're going to move it to the side. Now, if you don't know where to put your guide, you can just create a rectangle. Let's create a rectangle of 50 by 50 pixel, 50 by 50, enter. So what you can do is to take your move tool and move this to the side. If you're not seeing the color, you can double click and change the color to something that you can see. Let's bring it to this place, and then let's drag out our guide and place our guide here. Then you can delete your rectangle. So let's move our text to the side. Yeah, and make sure that it's aligned to the guide. Then the next thing we are going to do, we are going to create a rectangle that is going to house our texts. So to do that, you go to your tool and pick the shape to the rectangle tool, and then we are going to draw out a rectangle. Then you go back and pick your tool, move this, and you check. We're going to change, let's use this size for our rectangle, 550 by 239. This is what we're going to use for our rectangle. Then you click enter. Let's change the color of our rectangle. We can pick this color here by just sampling the color of our text and then click OK. We are going to change our corner radius to 12 pixels. Yeah, this works for us. So the next thing we can do is to put a rectangle that will house our services. So you click and drag and then you change the size to 215 by 52. Then you click enter. Then we're also going to change the color to white and we'll round it up. We'll add corner radius to it. Let's add a corner radius of 12. No, this is too much. Let's add 8. Let's see how it is. Okay, 8 is okay for us. So the next thing we can do is let's add a drop shadow. To add a drop shadow, you come to that rectangle, to the layer panel, bring your cursor to this place, right click, and then we go to blending options. And when you come to blending options, you click on drop shadow and we are going to adjust our drop shadow. So we're going to adjust it here. When you get what you want, you can just click OK. Let's move it up a bit. Then we can type our services. Click on the text tool and type services. Then Control A. Come to this place, to the color picker, and change the color to, okay, we're not changing the color because we're not changing the color. All you need to do is to highlight it and then we change the text size. Let's change it to 7.43. Enter. Then you make sure you click here to check your design, and then we pick our move tool and then move our text. Now we can't see our text because it is under the rectangle. So all you need to do is to come to your layer panel and drag it up and make sure that it is above the rectangle too. So once you've done that, you change the color. Let's change the color by sampling the color of this rectangle. And we're going to change it from bold to semi-bold and then place it well. So the next thing for us to do is to add in the other text, and to do that we are going to take our text tool and draw a text box. So for this, I'm going to copy and paste in the text that are going to be inside it. So let's paste in the text. You can just copy the text. The text size is 5 with a leading of 9. This is the leading. This is called leading. A leading of 9. Then you check your design. And then you position it well. So we are going to add arrow to indicate each of the services being offered. So we are going to go back to our shape tool, right click on custom shape. Then we are going to come to our custom shape and pick an arrow that we are going to, okay, we're going to use this arrow. You click on it and then you hold down your shift key while you draw out a little arrow and remove. Click on your move tool and then change the color to the color of the background. Just sample the background by clicking on it, then click OK. So we are going to adjust it. Then after we've placed it well where we want, what we can do is duplicate it and place it on the rest of the services. So to duplicate, you click Ctrl J and then use your down arrow key to move the arrow down. Once you like where it is, you click Ctrl J again, use your down arrow key to move it down, Ctrl J, move it, and Ctrl J, you move it till you place it where it is meant to be, where it is indicating each of the services. So after that, we are going to bring in the, well, okay, we are not bringing in the clothes yet. Let's put the rectangle that is going to house the clothes the person is selling. So what you can do is you take your move tool and click on this rectangle. You can click Ctrl J and then drag this rectangle down. So for it to be on the same line without moving, hold down your shift key while you drag it down. Once you've dragged it down, you come to your property panel. If you're not seeing this property panel, you go to your windows and search for property and make sure that it is checked. Once it is checked, you'll find it here. So you click on your property panel, you click here and you remove the fill. You click here and add a stroke in its place. So what you can do is you click on this place and you sample the color of the rectangle, then you click OK. So 2 is okay for us. We can use 2. Then the next thing for you to do is to draw. We are going to draw in the shapes that is going to house the clothes that we'll put in. So you go to your shape tool, you right click, pick the rectangle. So we are going to draw out a rectangle. Let's put the sizes of the rectangle that we want to use. We're going to use 155 by 194. Click enter. And we're going to add a 12 pixel radius. You don't need to, you can leave the color like that. You don't need to start adjusting the color because you're going to put an image inside it. But if you want to see what you are doing, you can change the color. So we've positioned it. Then the next thing we can do is click Ctrl J, move, hold down Shift so that it will be on the same place. You move it a little bit, you click Ctrl J and then you move the last design and make sure you hold down your shift key so that they are well aligned. Now what you can do is you click on the first rectangle, you go to your file, place embedded, and we are going to place the first cloth that we want to be in the design. So we are going to double click on this and it will come in. So you don't need to hold down shift, you just drag and reduce the size, position it, click enter, then come to the layer panel, right click the image and click clipping mask, and the cloth is going to clip into the image. So all you need to do is to position the image well, and then you click on the second rectangle, repeat the same process, go to file, place embedded, and we're going to take the second cloth. We're going to take this, you reduce the size by holding the side, place it well on the rectangle, click enter, come to your layer panel with your cursor, right click and create clipping mask. Then the third one, you click on it, you go to file, place embedded. We're going to place the last image, which is this one. You reduce it, you reduce the image, you click enter, you go back to your layer, you right click and create clipping mask, and then you make sure you position the clothes well. Make sure that you position the clothes well. So the next thing we can do is to bring in our main clothes that is going to occupy this side. So to do that, you go to file, place embedded, and we're going to bring in our first cloth, which is this one. Double click, And as you can see, this cloth has a background. Now there are two ways that you can do it. You can come to this place, come to your quick selection tool, come to your options bar and click on select subject, and it is going to try and select this subject. But as you can see, it did not select it well. It didn't do a good job. So we are not going to use that. You deselect Ctrl D. So we are going to use our pen tool to select. If you don't want to use your pen tool, you can use this polygonal lasso tool to also go around. Okay, let's use the polygonal lasso tool. If you click on the polygonal lasso tool, you come to the side, you click. Now one thing with this polygonal lasso tool is it does like a magnet. Once you click, it will stick to that side that you clicked. So you click and you just keep adding the sides. You have to be very careful so that you don't go outside of the image. You just click, click. So I'm going to forward this so that I don't waste our time. So once you've gotten to this point, what you can do is you go out of the design, you highlight everything, and then you come back to the starting point and click. You see it will highlight all the outer parts. And what you can do is you click on the mask, you come to the add layer mask, you click on it and it will remove. But as you can see, it's removed the image here, but not to worry. What you can simply do is Ctrl I to invert the design so that the background will go out. So we click Ctrl I and it will invert the design. So you take your move tool and then you position your clothes well. So I'm going to adjust it to fit well. So this is fine. This is fine. And the next thing we can do is to let's put in our last text before we bring in our last picture. So to do that, we're going to click on our shape tool and take our rectangle. We're going to draw out a shape. Let's put in the size, the width and height of the rectangle. So we click and we type 700 by 131. Click enter, and then we'll sample the color of the other rectangle. Okay, we change the corner radius to 12 pixels. Click enter, and then we are going to type in, click your text tool, we're going to type in contact us. So once you've done that, you check, you click on your move tool, and then we're going to change the size to 6, and we're going to leave it at medium, Montserrat medium. Then position it well. So we can change the color and sample the color of the background to the contact us. Then the next thing we can do is to add the number of the contact us. So you can put in any number of your choice. So this is the number that I'm going to put, and then we are going to change it to bold. We are going to change it to 8 pixels. Now we are making it bold because it's an important part of the design where we want the audience to see. We want them to notice the contact. Okay, we want them to notice the contact, and we want them to see the number and call. That is the essence of this whole design, to make sales. So the only way they can make sales is by calling the number, and we have to make sure that the number is legible. So we are going to use our pen tool. So you click P on your keyboard. If it's showing cross, make sure you put off your caps lock, and then we'll take it from shape. Okay, we'll leave it at shape. We'll remove the fill and add a stroke. So to add the stroke, you come here, you click, you sample the color of the background, you click OK. Then we are going to leave it at 2 pixels. So we just come here and draw a line. Then we take our move tool. We click on the text tool, which is T, and then we'll type in address. For the address, we'll leave it at 6 and medium. Oh, we didn't type our address up. So we type in our address, you check, click on your move tool, and you position the text well. So after we've typed in our text, we are going to type in the address of the place. So you can type in any address of your choice. This is what I want to type in. Though this address doesn't exist. I don't know if it exists sharp, but it's just a random address. Click enter. But I know the address is not in Lagos. Lekki, Lagos. So we are going to take our move to style. We can position the text well. We're going to change it to 5, the size to 5, and 6 leading. So we're going to make sure that it's aligned with our address. So the smart guide is helping us to do that already. So you can click, make sure that it's positioned well inside of our box. So this is okay. Then we're going to move our line to so that it's at the middle. Then the next thing we can do is to change the color of this number. Change it to the color of the background. We sample the background, and that's okay. So lastly, we are going to bring in our clothes, the other clothes. You go to file, place embedded. We are going to double click on the white to bring it in, and as you can see, it has background too, and it has a white background. Let's see if we can use select subject to remove it. So we click on select subject. Let's see what it will do. Oh, it did an amazing job. Beautiful. So once you selected it, you click on your mask and it will remove the background. Then you take your move tool and then you adjust the clothes. So we're going to place the clothes here. You didn't do an amazing job. There are some parts that I'm seeing that is not looking so good, but we are going to work on it. No need to worry. We even made mistake in our street, so let's correct that. We come back, we type in, we add our E to the street, and then I guess we are going to move this back a bit, move it in so that it doesn't obstruct with the clothes we are using for our design. And then we click on our line, and then we move it so that it's at the center too, so we can position our clothes well. So this is fine. This is fine here. So when you zoom in, you are going to notice that this part of our clothes was affected when we removed the background. So if you want to adjust it, you can come to your mask, take your brush tool, let's change our brush to a soft brush. You pick this soft brush, this general brush. You increase your brush size by clicking the right arrow key and make sure. Now I told you something. I said that black hides and white reveals, so we want to bring back a little bit of this part that was taken away while we were trying to remove the background. So make sure that your foreground color is white and then you brush in. Now you see we've restored that part. So once you brush in gradually, it will bring back the part that we lost, and that is it. So if you have a logo, you can add your logo to this design. We don't have a logo, so we can just use anything. You can just type MC, highlight it, change the color to the background color, click OK, and let's use bold. for our logo. Let's increase the size to 12. Then sample the color we want. So this is our logo, MC, and we can bring it to this side and then we check, and that is it about the design. This is all it takes to create a simple flyer design for your brand. Business owners, I hope you all are listening. You can design a simple design for your brand. It doesn't take anything. As a designer, you can do a simple flyer design for your clients and they will appreciate it. You don't need to do much. All you need to do is to communicate that information that they need. So this place, I think it's a bit, so we're going to adjust it. Let's adjust it. The space there is too much. So we'll highlight everything in the box and then we'll drag it up a bit. Make sure that it's well aligned. So this is okay. This is fine. So that is it about the design. Thank you all for sticking with me from the first day of this design to the last day of this design. I really appreciate you all and I hope you learned something from this design. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the group chat and we're going to attend to all your questions. It's nice having you all. Bye.